Hi, welcome back to Lion and Lamb TV. Tonight is part 7 in our series, Comfort in Perilous Times. We hope you enjoy. Then in Romans 8:18, we read this. Romans 8:18. Here's what we read. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. We must realize that these words were penned under the direction of the Holy Spirit, and by one who drank deeply of sorrow's cup, by one who suffered afflictions in their worst forms. Listen to his own testimony from 2 Corinthians 11, verses 24 to 27. 2 Corinthians 11, 24 to 27. Here's what it says. Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. In journeyings often, in perils of robbers, in perils of mine own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the sea, perils in the wilderness, in perils among false brethren, in weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness. So when Paul says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us, this, then, was the settled conviction not of one of fortune's favorites, not of one whose life's journey was a carpeted pathway bordered with roses, but instead of one who was hated by his kinsmen, who was oftentimes beaten black and blue, who knew what it was to be deprived not only of the comforts, but the bare necessities of life. How then shall we account for his cheery optimism? What was the secret of his elevation over his troubles and trials? The first thing with which the apostle comforted himself was that the sufferings of the Christian are but of a brief duration. They are limited to this present time. This is in sharp and solemn contrast from the sufferings of the rejecter of Christ. His sufferings will be eternal, forever tormented in the lake of fire. But far different is it for the believer. You see, his sufferings are restricted to this life on earth. A few short years at most, and we shall pass from this vale of tears into that blissful country where groans and sighs are never more and never heard. Second, the apostle looked forward with the eye of faith to the glory. This is one of the real tests of faith. The Christian has a solid support in the time of affliction, but the unbeliever has not. The child of God knows that in his Father's presence there is fullness of joy, and that at his right hand there are pleasures forevermore. And faith lays hold of them, appropriates them, and lives in the comforting cheer of them even now. Isn't that wonderful? And that's the end of part 7. Part 6 is coming at you tomorrow. Part 6. No, part 8 is coming at you tomorrow. As always, walk with the King today.